Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to be discussing how to revolve, extrude, and use a polygon in Inventor. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and stay around. Now, before we get started here in Inventor, I just want to, bring your attention here to the hole that's right here in the middle. So we can either decide to do that inside of the revolve, or we can do that with the hole command. Now, I'm going to give you both options, and I'll make sure I point that out when we're in Inventor. But just to let you know, we can either take care of that hole in the beginning or after we create the revolve. Okay, so here in Inventor, what we're going to do is we're just going to click on the new icon here. It should bring open a dialog box. We're going to assume that the units are going to be metric. So I'm going to select metric standard millimeter IPT, and I'll just double click on that, and we'll give it a little bit of time for Inventor to load. While it's doing that, I want to say thank you for the ones who are recently subscribed, and for all of you who are keep coming back and watching these videos, as I really do appreciate it, and it is inspiring me to come up with more creative content. If there's something that you would like to see me do, please leave that below in the comment, and once again, I will apologize for Inventor loading, taking its time and load. I guess in the future, if you want me to kind of pause it there and kind of come back when it's already loaded, I can do that as well. But here we are. It should be loaded for us here, and we're going to start off with a sketch. Okay, we're going to select this icon here, and then we're going to select the front plane. Okay, so the first thing I typically like to do is go ahead and project in what axis I'm going to be rotating around. And you can see from my UCS, it's going to be the y-axis. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to go find the y-axis, and then I'll just select project geometry, and it should bring in that y-axis for us, right? Hit escape afterwards. Go ahead and select that line that you just brought in, and then let's go ahead and make it a center line. Now that center line tells Inventor that we're going to be doing some kind of revolve, or we need some diameters. Next thing I like to do is just go ahead and just kind of sketch my shape out. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to stay away from that line, and the reason I'm doing that is I told you in the intro that I'm going to show you how to include that circle that's already there. So what I'm doing is just kind of creating this shape here off to the side. Okay, so now this shape is kind of what we need to create our overall revolve, right? We can go ahead and decide to put the chamfers on now, or we can do them later, as well as the one fillet that we have. But I want to really draw your attention to this gap in between here. So if I go ahead and put the longest dimension on first, and that's always what I advise you to do, which is going to be the height here. I'm just going to select here, and the height is going to be 50. Now I can start building off of this. The reason why this center line is so important is that when I select the center line and select this line here, it's going to give me a diameter dimension. So the top diameter here is going to be 40. And don't worry about it, it's going to move around on you. And what I can do with that is I can escape out of that. And then I can kind of drag and pull these lines over, right? So I can just grab them and pull them over. Let's go ahead and put a couple of more dimensions on here. Let's do a dimension from here, going all the way out to here, which is going to be set to 20. Let's go ahead and take care of our height here, which is also another 20. And then we got a few more dimensions that we have to put on here. 2 of them, and really it's going to be in reference to the center is going to be 1 of them. So basically, I can go ahead and say, hey, give me the horizontal from that midpoint there, or center point, and then I'm going to go on this line and find the center point on that one, right? The last thing it's looking for is this dimension here. Now what I mean by that is that if I make these 2 lines on top of each other, basically I will not have a hole in the middle. But if we want to go ahead and define that hole, we can go ahead and select dimension and do the exact same thing we did before by going from here to here. And you can see that it's going to give me that diameter, and this circle here is going to be 9. So we can either decide to do it now or later. Doesn't matter to me. The other thing is what I usually like to do is use my fillets and my chamfers and make them separate commands. Mainly, the main reason to do that is that you can control them. So if I need to go back and edit one of those, it's a lot easier to edit if it's a feature rather than part of my sketch here. I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. So I can go ahead and put this fillet of 3 here. And then I can go ahead and do the chamfers as well, right? So let's go here, go to the drop down here, select chamfer, and it's going to be a 1 chamfer. And I can go ahead and select and place my chamfers all around here. Okay. And when I go ahead and finish this sketch and then use the revolve command, and it should pick up everything, I have the 2 things that it needs. It has a closed profile and it has a axis of revolution. I can go ahead and have all of this on here. Now if I wanted to edit these, I have to go back inside of this sketch and then I can edit them, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of undo back all of this stuff, and I'm going to take off those chamfers for you, as well as that fillet. Let's go ahead and finish the sketch here and then revolve it. And it should give us about the same shape. And then I'll go ahead and put those chamfers and fillet ends as actual features because they'll be listed here. And you'll see the benefit of it after we do that part. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the chamfers first. Oh, looks like I selected the wrong thing here. Let's go to chamfer. And like I said in the other one, it's going to be a 1. Let's go ahead and select all of these edges, 1, 2, and 3. And you can also see another benefit to it is that I can edit all of those and change them all at once, right? Let's go ahead and rotate this up. Go ahead and put the fillet on here. Should have a radius of 3. Select it underneath here, hit OK. And now those are listed over here. So if I wanted to change those chamfers, I can double click here and it's going to bring open the dialog box. And then we should be able to fix it, right? So if I wanted to make that a 2. A lot simple to go ahead and change that all at once and make it a 2. Let's go ahead and undo back. Last thing we need to do now is go ahead and put our polygon right through the top of this, right? So we're going to select this top face and then select the icon with the green plus. Once we have this, the polygon should be listed underneath the rectangle, right? So you can see it there at the bottom. It's going to be rectangle. And then you're going to have to decide if you're going to use circumscribed or inscribed, right? Really, in this program, it doesn't matter. And what I mean by that is that you can put the dimension on however you want to afterwards. But we do have 6 sides. So I'm just going to place this dimension here. And I can intentionally make it big as I want it to be, right? Let's go ahead and escape out of that. Go ahead and put the dimensions from here to here. Go ahead and set that number equal to 20. And then the last thing it's asking me is like, what direction do I want this thing to go, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the vertical. I'm just going to select this center point here, and then I'll select that end point, and that should satisfy everything that I need. Let's go ahead and hit the finish sketch. Let's go ahead and extrude this, and we're going to go down a distance of 10, right? So only thing I need to do here is reverse the direction. It should automatically see that I want to cut it. Go ahead and hit OK. And the modeling portion of this is done, right? So real simple and easy to do revolves, as well as some extrusions and kind of understanding how polygons work. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and start doing the drafting portion of this. But before we do that, remember that you always have to save first. So go ahead and click the save icon. I usually just like to name it as part 1, but if you got a specific name, go ahead and do that. It's going to ask me, do I want to replace that part? And of course, I'm going to tell it yes. Okay. But you can see it's named part 1. Let's go ahead and click on the new icon here. We're going to do a drawing of it. So we're going to scroll down till I see the ANSI millimeter IDW. Let's go ahead and select there and hit create. Now by default, it likes to open up in a D size, but we can always change that, right? Let's give it a couple more seconds here and it should switch over for us. All right, so the drafting on this one should be easy. Let's go ahead and delete the title block portion. I'm just going to leave it as a D size. Remember, I showed you in many of videos that we can go ahead and change that, and I'll just show it to you really quick. Is that if you right click on your, should be on your, let's see, on the drawing here. And it should be under edit sheet. I do apologize, I'm the one that's drawing a blank today. We'll go ahead and select edit sheet and you can change and choose whichever size that you want. But I'm just going to leave it as a D size for this video, so you're going to see the dimensions are going to be quite small. Well, I guess since I'm here, let's make it a B size. So that'll make those dimensions a little bit bigger. We're going to pop in the base view, and remember the base view should always be typically the front view. And I'm just going to rotate this thing up. I'm going to slide it over here, and then I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay. And I'm purposely making this one big. I'm probably not going to put an isometric view on it, although you know how simple that is. If I select the view here, go to project, and then just move up here to the top. Right click and hit create. It will go ahead and create that for me, but you know, we don't really need to see that one on this one. I just wanted to show you how to create a quick section. So I'm going to select, go to section, go find the center, and then go up. Oh, I did one step too quick for you. Let's go to section, go ahead and select the view, go find the center, and then track off of that center. Come down, click here, right click, continue, and then if I come to the right here, you should see that it create that section view for me. All right, and I can throw some quick dimensions on this one, you know, relatively simple. Shortcut for dimension is just going to be D, and it should automatically kick us over there. For some strange reason, I will apologize again here. My computer is running a little bit slow today. But I'll just go to D, and then we can select the dimensions that we want, right? So we knew that this one was 50. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. This is my 20. And then I have a dimension here sitting at 10. Now, if I want to put this dimension here on the bottom, and you'll notice that this is my 20 dimension, right? Typically, we might want to put a diameter symbol in front of it. If I double click it, it should bring open a dialog box. Once I'm in this dialog box, I'm going to select this text tab. Just going to hit the home button to get in front of this. And then I'm going to say, hey, put a diameter in front of that. Okay. I'm just trying to think of some other stuff I can do here that you have not already saw in some of my other videos. But if this is your kind of first time, dimensioning is easy. All you're doing is just using one type of dimension, which is kind of different from what you see in AutoCAD, where you have multiple dimensions that you have to, you know, multiple options of dimensions that you have. But in here, I can just use with the regular dimension command and basically get all of the dimensions that I need. Okay. Even, let's see if we can get a chamfer dimension here. And I don't think there's one special chamfer dimension, is there? Let's go ahead and go here. Yes, it is. And then I can select there, and then that line. And it will give me that chamfer dimension here as well. Okay. I don't think there's anything that's other than this. I think that's actually all the dimensions that we need. Remember, I usually like to go ahead and do all of my dimensioning, and then I'll come back and I'll adjust the style later. Once again, this is going to be one of those things that take time. But if you select the little style editor button there, give it a couple of minutes, and it will switch open and give you another dialog box. Okay, so once it appears, what I like to do is just go ahead and suppress those trailing zeros by selecting there. Remember that I'm underneath whatever style that I'm at. So I'm underneath the dimension, and I'm changing the dimension one for the millimeter one. So I'm looking at the units. There's nothing to really change in the alternative units, or alternate units, sorry. There's nothing to change here in the display, although you can manipulate it if you have some other edges or some of that nature. Underneath the text is how you're gonna fix how you want it to appear. So I'm just gonna take and make everything horizontal. Then underneath the tolerancing, once again, we don't have any tolerancing going on here, so this is kind of irrelevant to us. There's options. If you want to change a little bit more of how your dimensions look, you can do that. And you also have some hide the deleter notes. Let's go ahead and hit the save and close, and just like magic, all of these should update, which you see that they did. And I think we're about done with this one, right? So relatively simple drawing. The most important thing I wanted to get out of this one is showing you how to revolve and do some other things of that nature. I can see that I don't have the center lines on here. I can go ahead and place a center line from here to here and create that. You know, as you're sometimes looking at drawings, some things just kind of stick out and it'll bother me. But anyway, and on these section lines, I can always right click on them and tell it not to show the entire line, and then that way it'll kind of break it. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Please leave me a comment if there's something else that you would like to see me do. But in this video, I really wanted you to grasp the concept of how to revolve something, or even with some of those simple extrusions and working with polygons, right? So that was my main important thing there, and hopefully I conveyed that here in this video. So other than that, I want to just thank you for tuning in, and as always, go ahead and keep drafting for me.